Oh boy.
Press the button.
What button? Oh, we are live. Oh, hi. Hang on. I'm gonna look at you. There we go. Good to go.
Hola.
Hola, amiga. Good snowy morning to you.
Good snowy morning to you.
So, are you gonna dig out your car today, or just leave it for another day?
Today's a day off, and you know what? It's still snowing.
It's still snowing. Yes, it is.
Started snowing. We chatted yesterday about, I don't know,
Sometime in
maybe
the afternoon.
4:30.
Yeah.
Snowing in Calgary. Probably about 45 minutes later, it's that same energy it was giving to Calgary. It doubled it on its way here. Yeah.
Sorry about that. Yeah. It's been intense, but I have nowhere to be. So, but here with you,
Awesome.
doing it in the morning with you.
Doing it in the morning. Okay, I'm just gonna pull up on my other thing here.
Okay.
There are some people watching, so I wanted to pay attention.
Oh, should we let the people know who I am? They probably have no idea.
I'm doing things one at a time. You know what? I'm getting much better at this hosting thing, so calm down.
Fine.
I was just checking. I was just checking the viewers. They're very important people to me.
Okay.
So I wanted to say a shout out to everyone, including you, Miss Diva. And yes, please introduce yourself. My name is Genevieve Eatsweed. You go.
Hi. My name is the 420 Diva, and I smoke a lot of weed on the internet, on Instagram usually. And Miss Nitty Gross is a friend of mine. Sometimes. All the time. Where's your stoner girl mug?
Sorry.
I thought we talked about it.
In the rush of things, I forgot about it. So 420 Diva here did her first grow last in the summertime, and she just harvested, I guess, about a month ago. 2 months ago.
Halloween. It was a Halloween harvest.
Halloween harvest. So yeah. So she's on to her second grow, and she's got little baby ones in her tent. So we're going to chat a little bit about that. Also, you can tell that we're geared up for Christmas because it's Christmas week.
All the holiday things.
It's morning time, so it's also my first smoke of the day.
You're half joint.
We're going to do that. Yeah, I have a couple of co-hosts here. First of all, Frosty.
Oh, hello, Frosty. Nice to see you again.
We got Cree chilling over there, and a couple of cats hanging out.
Couple of cats. I got a cat hanging around here somewhere. She's very antisocial, though. Much like myself.
She's a little antisocial. So let's see who we got in the chat. We got Jack Greenstock, my bestie, my other bestie.
Hi, Jack.
Anova, Light 1978, Troubled Uncle. Good morning.
Good morning, Uncle.
Noah 420, Adam. Lots of people up this morning. Wow.
Good morning
from Edmonton. Is it snowing in Edmonton?
Yeah, is it? I wonder if it is. I think it kind of missed
When I looked at the weather radar last night, it looked like it was missing Edmonton. Just got us southern people. Oh, we got 4 plants. Good morning.
4 plants.
People are up and at 'em. I'm surprised. We did come on a little bit late just to give people extra time to sleep in. I mean, it is Christmas
by
week.
People, you mean me?
Yeah, that's all right. It is really early, and I appreciate your valued time first thing in the morning.
Thank you very much. My value time I would have normally spent sleeping.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me. And thank you to Cheap Home Grow for hosting us. And these poinsettias are harassing me.
Yes. And I want to shout out Chief Home Grow and the boys. The boys do a show every Sunday here on YouTube Live, Growing with My Fellow Growers. That's led by Jack Greenstock, who's in the chat right now. And then I do a weekly show on Tuesday mornings. Sometimes it's here on this platform, and sometimes it's on Instagram at Miss Nudie Grows. I am just basically doing a grow show first thing in the morning. A few little grow tips on just how I do things. I am a personal home grower and also a professional cultivator and irrigation specialist at Candry Cannabis.
The dankest grower.
Well,
I've
I'm
smoked a
growing
lot of your
dank,
weed.
that's for sure. Maybe not the dankest, but I'm growing dank. No
I've smoked a lot of
problem.
your weed, so I'm pretty confident it's the dankest.
Thank you, my love. So today we're going to talk. I wanted to include new growers in my grow show because I have received a lot of feedback. Oh, I forgot one more plug. The other show I do on this platform is Hydro Hustlers with Alki and Honey Bear Casey. So that's once a month, and our next show is January 6th, which is a Wednesday evening at 6:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time.
Why do they get to go on in the evening and I have to go on so early in the morning? I'm kidding.
Because my personal show is the early morning show. I didn't want to interrupt any other grow shows that were going on. We have Michigan doing lots of great things, people out of California doing great things, and I don't want to mess up anybody's. I don't want to try and compete against time. So we get up at the crack of dawn here in southern Alberta.
That's very considerate of you.
Beat the snow with vigor and piss, and and yeah. But like I was saying before, I got a lot of feedback between both shows and other things that I've done and other podcasts that I've done that people really enjoy the basic information. So bringing everything back to basics and learning how to grow in a really simple way. A lot of people don't have money to spend on like the most amazing products.
Yeah,
I grow at home with very cheap ghetto things. I have a few things that I've purchased and invested money into, but for the most part, people want to learn how to grow in a cheap and realistic way. So
exactly. And I'm one of those people.
This is where you come in.
This is where I come in.
Yeah.
You're growing.
You're one of the cheapest growers I know. And
yes, I am.
I mean, I didn't get to try any of those, but they were sparkly and beautiful. And what do I say? Quality over quantity.
Did you say you didn't get to try any of them?
Oh yeah, you.
Yeah, you did try them. It must have been not like memorable because, or it was so
long ago.
Our
so secret visit. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but
yes, I did. I tried the White Widow. Very good.
Yeah,
no, I did not try them all. I tried 2 of them.
Yeah, you tried Wedding Cake, which is a clone that you gave me. Yes. And then you also tried Blueberry. Nope. Yes, you tried Blueberry, which is another clone that you gave me.
Yes.
So you were the original plant mom.
Well, I was in the middle somewhere, I'm sure. Wedding Cake, I started myself. Blueberry, I got as a clone.
Blueberry turned out really well, actually. Actually, Blueberry was my favorite out of the 4 strains that I grew. I found
it was colorful.
Very beautiful to look at, and when you busted it up, it was like pink almost. It was so nice, and the terps. Oh, the terps! But yeah, I was really proud of that one.
Dude, we got one of your favorite ladies in here.
Oh, who?
Lady Greenstock. We got Jack's wife in the house.
Hi,
this lady up early. Only the 420 diva.
I am trying to gain access to your guys' comments on here. I can't see it on my phone, so if you see me looking around, it's because I'm trying to look at your comments.
I'm just going to narrate some of them for you until you can see them. And then afterwards, when the show gets uploaded, you can go back and you can check out all the nice stuff. Everyone's saying nice things. It's snowing like a mother in Edmonton, so we got our answer. It did not skip Edmonton. Oh, we got Australia in the house, off to bed. Have a good one. The Hook.
Good night. It must be like midnight in Australia.
Oh man, Jack and the lady are watching us on their TV. That's very official.
We're on a big screen.
Fire. We are in the Christmas spirit, yes, as you can see. I got my cat back here fucking with Frosty. Jeez. Twisted Gardens, Moonfog, Sarah Choi. I'm going to guess that's a lady grower. Narwhal Up. Eagle Gardens. Holy.
Oh, it's a lot of people.
We got quite a few people up early with us. This is very exciting. Very exciting. And it's because I have such a VIP guest.
Hardly, but thank you for having me anyway. Just so everyone knows, I've slept 15 minutes. Good morning.
You can have a nap afterwards. And you know what? I would like to discuss now that we've ironed out all the formalities and the things like that. Maybe if you wouldn't mind taking us through your first grow.
Okay, well,
and maybe you can talk about some of the struggles that you had with that
definitely
as a new grower.
It was a soap opera. I have to sort of start. It feels like such a long story because so many things happened. Basically, I started growing because pandemic. I found myself unemployed due to COVID, and I was like, I gotta get wheat somehow. So I'm just gonna grow it in my house. Like, now's the time. When I started, obviously, I was on a very tight budget. I still am. So I just got like the most basic things. I ordered like a really cheap grow tent on Amazon. It's a 4x4, so it's quite large, like for me anyway. And like a cheap light on Amazon. And I had some seeds. I had some bag seeds. I also had some seeds that came from Mexico, and I will not discuss how they got back into Canada. But they got here, and I had some auto seeds, and I planted all of those seeds, and I killed all those seeds within like a week. None of them, there was like 3 that germinated, and then I killed the seedlings, which was depressing.
A lot of people's story. That's a lot of people's story. That's my story. That's a lot of people's story. Germinating is tough.
Well, here's the thing is I am a gardener. Like, I've been gardening tomatoes is my specialty for many years. So I'm like naturally a gardener. I do all my seeds every year. It's not like I'm total noob, but something just didn't work out. At the time, I didn't know what it was or why my seeds didn't work out. So that's where you came in, and another good grow friend. You were kind enough to give me some clones, and as well as my other friends. So that's how I started, basically, was with clones. I skipped the whole seedling thing because I killed them. And from there, it only got more adventurous. So basically, I realized that the soil I was using, which was a super soil, it was sea soil, was way too dense. And that's probably why my seedlings didn't survive. There was no drainage there, and I think the soil itself was actually too hot. I just assume it was. So then I got your clones, which I also put in sea soil. Oh, wait, let's talk about the clones that I killed first. I actually got 4 other clones from another friend, and I killed those immediately, and then I got your clones. But yeah, I killed a lot of things before I got my grow off the ground.
It's good to get that over with in the beginning, honestly.
It was really delayed. Actually, the whole grow was super delayed from the get-go because I ordered all this stuff, like my grow tent, my light, off of Amazon, and because of the pandemic, Amazon was backed up like a month. So I literally had to wait a whole month for my stuff that should have come.
Remember.
Yeah, so the whole grow was like literally delayed by 2 months because of that, and then me killing everything. So it was not off to a good start. So by the time I actually like started growing, it was beginning of July, and it went okay for a little while with the clones that you had given me, and then I started to realize that there's a lot of bugs flying around my grow room, like a lot of bugs. And then that's when I reached out to you in a panic several times to figure out what exactly was going on. And it turned out that I had, not only did I have gnats, fungus gnats, I had thrips as well. So that was like the first month of the grow.
May I always say too that it's always a good idea to tell your friend when there's something in their teeth or if they have thrips, even if they get mad at you in the beginning. She didn't get mad at me, but some people get mad, and it's like, dude, I'm just a messenger, but always tell a friend.
Yeah, no, and I appreciate that because you were the one who sort of gave me the IPM tips, and you were the one who helped me figure out that my soil was the problem most of the time, and drainage.
You can tell by looking at it. It was dense that I could see it from across the screen. Yeah,
exactly. My soil was like thick and chunky and just not good at all. And so
cannabis roots like a lot of air.
Yeah.
And oxygen.
Yeah. And so these plants, basically, they wouldn't dry out for like the life of them. I was watering them every 2 weeks, basically, which is not a lot, but they just would not dry out. And therefore my fungus gnat issue sort of got really out of control.
It escalated it out of
yeah.
your control. That's very important. You had
Yeah.
no control over it with the wetness.
Yes. And so that was like at least a month-long saga or more with the fungus gnats. I had used a bunch of different IPM methods, which is integrated pest management. You taught me that. It's my favorite hashtag IPM. And so I used a couple of different methods. Some you had suggested, some I sort of picked up at the Walmart. So I got those little yellow strips, and I put one in each plant, and that kind of helped catch some of the adults. And then I use alcohol solutions, like a 10% alcohol solution as like a foliar spray to help to try to take care of some of the thrips, which also led to its own issues, like kind of dry, brittle leaves. What else did I try?
I mean, it does take care of the thrips, that's for sure. And it's always my last resort IPM too. My dad's, we used to do it to the garden. We used to do it like in thrips, they're dead. Yeah.
And so for me, like you knew, like it wasn't in the budget to go out and buy a bunch of like, pesticides and stuff like that.
Well, it's not easy to get beneficial insects here either.
Yeah, exactly. So that was a battle, and I never did fully get rid of them. Actually, I managed to get them really toned down all the way up until flower time. And then when I switched to flower within like a week and a half, they came back really badly and they stunted my plants. They stunted my plants in veg for like probably an extra 3-4 weeks. And then my plants got stunted again in flower. So I really ended up with really small plants by the end of this whole thing because they were so stunted. I also believe that I experienced a bunch of root rot from obviously the wet soil. So I think the real thing that I learned here is wet soil is bad soil. And that could be like because of a number of different reasons. Could be your soil's not very good or your pots aren't very good. Actually, my pots were not the best pots. They were sort of tapered pots, so the drainage wasn't the best. So I ended up literally drilling holes into these pots. Like I drilled like 80 holes. I messaged you that day and I was like, I'm drilling fucking holes in my pots because it needs more drainage. So I drilled like 80 holes in the pots. And then that helped a little bit. But then I encountered another problem, which was a really big problem, if you recall. I overfed my plants and they became toxic, which was another SOS call to you at 4 a.m. As I watched my plants literally die before my eyes.
I know it's scary. I've been there.
And so for me, what I was using for nutrients, or what I am still using now, is Gaia Green. It's a dry amendment.
And it's a good nutrient company.
What's that?
It's a good nutrient company.
Yeah, no, I'm not knocking the nutrients at all. I'm probably knocking the user more than anything. But I think because my plants were so sensitive too, like they had all these other issues going on, that even though I didn't overfeed them according to the directions for the state they were in, I believe I overfed them. But anyway, so I need to just have we have to just talk about all the weird shit that I did to my plants before any of this happened.
That's basically why we booked you.
Okay, so let's talk about the weird shit. Okay, so
but people can relate. Like honestly, I'm just trying to keep up with this too. The skimming, there's like this is so relatable. Sarah Choi saying, "Way to persevere." I can relate to everything she's saying.
Okay,
so people are on this with you. This is the stuff I want to hear. This is the stuff my friends want to hear.
I don't feel so alone. Oh my God, I'm getting emotional.
It's okay. You can cry here. It's a safe place. Cheap Homegrown Nation. Good people.
What's up, Cheap Homegrown Nation? By the way, I love the name. I'm all about the cheap homegrown. But so speaking of cheap, okay, so do you remember when I first started? And you're like, what nutrients are you using? I'm like, I'm not fucking using nutrients. I'm going to make my own teas. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do.
And so at one point, The first, so this might have contributed to the bugs a little bit. So the first like month of the plant lives, I was feeding them literally, okay, so I'd like boil vegetables for dinner, like carrots or whatever. And then I'd let that water cool off and I would feed that water to my plants. My plants literally got vegetable water, okay? I don't know where I read this. Don't ask me where, don't do this. I don't know where I read that information, but some weird forum in the depths of the internet, I found that information. And I was feeding it, so like vegetable water and then like banana tea, which I know can be good. I don't think I was using it correctly. What else did I make? I made some other weird shit for
it's
it.
the excitement of wanting to try everything.
Yes.
And I want,
the thing is,
get it.
Being on a budget, right? And like, you know, like I think when like I talk about my girl, people don't really understand what being on a budget means. They'll be like, well, you just get this and it's cheap. It's only, you know, you need this ventilation system and it's only $175. I'm like, I don't know what you don't understand about growing on the cheap. Like when I mean cheap. I have no job right now, like no job in the foreseeable future. So it has to be as cheap as possible. So the goal was to literally make my own nutrients at home, which I know a lot of people do. It's just not within my
turn out to be a mother effing genius and be the next Remo.
You
never know.
I was going to use those guys for this grow. But then you told me that I needed a bunch of extra stuff and you scared me. And I was like, no, I'm just going to use the Gaia because I know how to work that one, kind of. But so I did a lot of weird stuff to my plants. Like really, it's a miracle that they made
Someone wants to know what type of soil it was that you were using.
Okay. I'm not knocking the soil brand. I'll tell you why I'm not knocking the soil brand, because this soil that I use for my tomatoes every year. And I have dank tomatoes. Like this summer, I had pounds and pounds and pounds of tomatoes. I know how to grow tomatoes. So I'm not knocking the soil.
You do. Dank tomatoes.
Thank you. They are dank. I'm gonna make a tomato weed hybrid. I'm gonna try to. Anyway, that's for another. That's for another day. What were we talking about? Jesus Christ.
The dude would like to know what type of soil you're using in it. Shout out to Shane while we're here. We got a shout out to Shane. 420 Diva fans. Fire, fire, fire. I can't wait for you to read these. Yeah.
Are they trying to say you should fire me from the show?
No, they're putting up fire emojis. Means you're lit. You're on fire. Maybe that's what it means. I mean, I don't know. I was reading a lot into it.
It's my paranoia because I've been smoking sativa. Okay, the soil I used, that was
sea soil or something.
Sea soil. Okay, so I know there are other brands of soil that are very similar to this soil. I think Ocean Frog or Ocean Forest or something. There are a couple Fox Farms. There's a couple soils that are very close to this soil that I was using. Basically, it's like dead fish and seaweed and forest floor in a bag. And it, like I said, it is really great for tomatoes and stuff. Apparently, it's not good for seedlings. So actually what I did end up doing, I actually did almost a full transplant when I flipped to flower because my soil was so dense. So I ended up adding what I'm using exclusively now is ProMix mycorrhizae HP. So I ended up adding some of that and a bunch of perlite and a little bit of ProMix soil. So by the time these plants were in flower, they had like 4 different soils. Okay. And it was still too dense.
I remember.
You remember, and I like messaged you and I was like in the grow room and here's the thing, I didn't document any of this for my Instagram because I was so terrified of the ridicule that I would get for all the things that I was doing. I kept a lot of that stuff quiet. I really did because I was scared to share my severe fuck ups with everybody and I didn't want to hear it. Do you know what I'm saying? I just didn't want to hear it. So I just kept, the questions to Google, you, and a few other, very few other close grow-mies sort of thing. But you were my source of, like, you were like my counselor. Like literally I cried to you. Like I literally cried. I'd send her videos like in tears bawling.
I mean, and that's a very valuable service,
what did you do?
right?
Like all these things.
That's a valuable service that I hope to charge people for one day.
Yes,
Not
yes.
as like a grow consultant, but literally as a
counseling.
counselor for their emotional stress. Like when something happens that goes wrong. Like I needed that too. I get it.
You're good. You're good at that. You're good at calming me down. You did calm me down.
You were my practice client.
And you know I'm difficult. Like, and if people are on here from my Instagram, they know me. They know I'm difficult. I'm difficult.
She's not called a diva for no reason.
No, and I'm not one of those divas. I'm not like Mariah Carey diva. Not at all. I'm not a fancy diva. I am like the ghetto diva. Just but I you know, I'm very set in my ways, and I'm very stubborn. I don't like to be like told what to do, and I don't like to be ridiculed, though nobody does. So that's why I sort of kept a lot of these things off of my page at the time, because I even like the few things that I did share, like when I shared that I had a really bad outbreak of fungus gnats and how bad it was, I had several people tell me, kill them, like get rid of them. You're never going to get rid of your pests. You know, this is going to be an ongoing thing for you. Just kill them and start fresh. And this is like 2 months into my grow. People were like, kill them. And you know what? Nothing
them.
Nothing really.
I know. I remember you sending me the screenshots. And
I was crying.
Like, kill that guy.
Yeah. I was crying. Like, you don't tell it. You don't say that to somebody. I mean, really, you don't. This is why, like, I'm so scared
discouraging.
Still.
People,
it's why
none of the cheap home grow people are like that. But if you have friends that you know are like that, nip that shit in the bud. Nobody wants to hear any negative.
Get out of here.
Especially on a first grow. If someone sends me a picture of like the most like dankest thing or the ugliest thing I've seen, I'm still gonna tell you it looks fucking awesome, because good job for fucking doing it.
Exactly. And so
and who cares? It's your grow. Sorry, I'm getting heated. I'm getting a little
that's why I get heated, because that's kind of where I'm going with this, is that, you know, like as much as I have received a lot of support, like throughout this growing process, a lot of support from a lot of people, I have received a lot of hate, and I haven't even shared half the things that have gone on because of that hatred. So I, you know, as much as I love this community so much, there are a few people that kind of ruin it, you know, and make it less fun with their, you know, aggressive opinions. You know, do it my way or no way sort of thing attitudes. So, but overall,
I feel like those people have like a sad life or a sad existence, you know, like if we're going to get a little bit deep for a minute, like when I see those people coming into my DMs or coming on to other people's or commenting on shit, it's like, you know what? I quietly delete shit and just don't even give it my energy. I give my energy to things that are like useful to me. If you're not useful to me, if you're just out to make people feel bad, I have no time.
Exactly. And that's what I've been doing now. Like, I'm getting better at sort of like brushing it off. Like, I've been on the
internet. Don't even look at it. Like, delete. Yeah.
Delete. Exactly.
Block, delete.
Sorry, just wrapping up my garland here.
Yeah, sea soil.
Sea soil. Okay, yeah. Sea soil, not like sea, like SEA soil, like the ocean. So I am not knocking this, friends. If you own sea soil, don't come at me, bro. I'm not here to.
No one's here coming at you.
I still love your soil for my tomatoes, believe me, and my lettuce. My lettuce loves your fucking soil.
You know what? The sea soil is probably good. We would have put like 80% perlite in it or something. Yeah. You know?
I feel like if I had added a bunch of perlite to it from the get-go, that at least would have minimized my problem by 50%. At least. So perlite is your friend.
But these are the things that you learn along the way from going through the things that you went through.
Totally.
It's made me the grower that I am. I mean, I started out in my very first grow. I thought that you could clone the fan leaves and the fan leaves would turn into a beautiful plant. And I remember posting this picture, I wasn't on Instagram yet, but I was on this forum called 420 Magazine. And I posted this picture of like 8 little fan leaves in like little pots. And I was like, oh, little babies, like
my clones.
Yeah.
That's
I got ate up.
And so how did your clones do? Your fan leaf clones.
Well, after I got like beat to death with words, I cried quietly and then threw them all in the garbage. No, I was fine.
I wish I could have been there.
I just laughed because it's like, okay, well, it's a new mistake, right? But we've all been there.
Yeah. Yeah. And honestly, I am totally grateful. I am grateful for the mistakes that I made. And I am grateful for those motherfuckers. Pardon my French. Can I swear on this channel? It's too fucking late.
Yeah, they're gonna age restrict it probably anyways. So
good. It should be age restricted. If you're under 18, please leave. But like I'm grateful for those people who told me, kill your plants, get rid of them. Like you're never going to succeed. I am grateful for them in a sense, because the biggest motivator to me is when somebody tells me I can't do something. And if you tell me I can't do something, even if it's bad for me, I'm going to goddamn do it. And I did. So they were a big motivator.
Classic rebel.
Truly. And it felt fucking good. Was that too many F-bombs?
Okay, so martial artist here says you're so right. Lame people act like getting an infestation means you suck, and fakers will hide their bug issues and diss you.
Yes,
exactly. I respect a grower that shows the bad with the good. So if I go onto someone's page and I see that it's all fucking mirrors and flash and that's not real to me. Totally. I want to see the stuff that's bad too.
Totally. And I think like even I've seen even the most seasoned growers that I've followed for a long time on Instagram screw stuff up, and it happens to we're all human, right? So
and things like thrips and fungus gnats, like come on, dude, you're gonna throw things away for like those kind of pests?
Yeah, I've literally
just get rid of it. That's laziness.
Yeah, that's laziness. Exactly. Why the hell?
Like,
I invested so much time and love and effort, and so had you at that time, like into those plants, that there's just no way that I was going to kill them. I was like, if they're going to die, they're going to die on their goddamn own. I will do everything to keep them alive, but if they're going to die and they choose to die, that is their choice. But I will try to help them along. I did
their
lose
choice. That's right.
You actually gave me 2 blueberry clones. One was named Lydia, and the other was named what was her name? Stahivy Nix, like Hevy. And so when I got the nutrient burn, Stevie Nicks died a very rapid, vicious death. And Lydia, the other blueberry, she was fine. Out of all of the 4 plants that I had, she was the only one that was didn't get really affected by it. But my mint dough, my Bruce Banner, which was a dwarf plant to begin with, I had a little dwarf plant, Bruce Banner plant. It was like
cutie.
It was so cute, and it grew just popcorn nugs. Like it was just popcorn nugs. But you know what? Those popcorn nugs, I still have a couple of them. They were pretty dank. They're just tiny.
Well, you keep talking. I'm gonna actually try and post some of your stuff here so that people can see how you.
Yeah, so if you want to see some of my grow, you can head on over to my Instagram. It's a long one. Okay, get your pens ready. I'll give you a second to get your pens ready. Do your pens. Okay, I am the 420 Diva official. Yes, it's like 30 characters long.
I'm gonna show everyone right away.
Okay.
I think I can do this. Yes, I can. Let's see.
I'm gonna get high out of my mug. Okay, I don't know if anyone has these Stoner roast and toast mugs, but they're like a little awkward to smoke out of. I find the shotgun to be like in an awkward spot. And then I also have another one, a blue one. And it's a lefty version. I didn't order a lefty version. Oh, something's happening on the screen.
I'm doing things. I'm doing things.
You're doing things. Anyway, I'll wait to smoke this with you guys. Oh yeah, that's me.
Can you see it? Can you see it?
Yeah, I see it.
Yay. That is you. So this is where you can find Diva. Okay, look, it's loading. It's loading. Okay, so I'm going to take us to...
Oh, yeah, you have a lot of posts to go through. There's like 3 months of posts to go through. Oh, you want to give everyone your password?
Yeah, I wonder why I did that. Oh,
Newts is the best. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, it's not going to let me now. Oh, I thought I had it.
It's fine. It's okay.
All right, guys, you saw that for a minute, though, didn't you? I'm going to do something else. You just keep chatting.
Okay, I should have sent you those pictures last night.
I'm going to go screenshot these little babies.
Yes, screenshot them. Okay, so now I'm back to the mugs. Anyone has these roast and toast mugs, they're kind of a bitch to smoke out of because the shotgun's like over here, and then you have to smoke it over here. And if you have like a tiny hand, you're screwed probably. Luckily, I have large hands, but do you guys like my 7-Eleven lighter? Do you know where I got it? 7-Eleven.
Where?
7-Eleven.
7-Eleven.
Cheers, y'all.
Okay.
Oh God. That's way too harsh. It's 7:24 in the morning. Too early for this shit.
It is. Okay, after you smoke that one, I was going to ask you a question while I'm screenshotting some of your nugs.
I could just keep talking about mugs.
Well, no, I was going to ask you, with the things that happened in your first grow, what did you do at the beginning of the second grow to maybe stop some of that stuff?
I probably have more soap opera to talk about with my second grow, but it'll come to me because, like I said, it was a saga. Like, so many things happened, and I did so many different things to try to like remedy my problems. But anyway, okay, moving forward to my second grow. So the first thing I did was order a bunch of feminized seeds. The second grow, I wanted to make it really experimental and like try a couple of different things. So I ordered a bunch of feminized seeds. I also ordered a couple of auto seeds to test out. Now I'm not doing anything special with the autos. I'm just throwing them in the tent with the rest of with all the photo periods that I have in there. And I'm just going to treat them as a photo period, basically. Oh, there's me. Oh, that was my wedding cake.
Yep.
That was my wedding cake. You gave me that clone. Her name was Morticia, and I still have one nug of her. Okay, there she is.
That's her dry.
Yeah.
That's her dry.
Sorry?
Maybe you want to talk a little bit before we get into your second grow. You could talk about your drying and curing process. This is your blueberry.
Okay. Can you?
No, this is your mint dough.
That's mint dough. Yes. You got to find the photo of my nug house. Okay, you guys. The coolest thing about my drying process, because there's nothing special about it. The coolest thing that I did, I have this house. It's literally a giant cardboard playhouse for kids, and I painted it. And I called it the 420 Nug House. And I used it for some skits and stuff back in the spring. Anyway, it came drying time, and I'm like, I need some cardboard boxes to dry my plants in. And I couldn't find any large enough cardboard boxes. And then I realized that I had the Nug House, this gigantic cardboard painted house. And so I hung the plants in there because my nugs were not that big. Like, the plants were small, right? So I hung the plants for about 3 days, and that was more than enough to get them really crispy. I did a quick wet trim on them, like a rough wet trim on them before I chopped them. And then after they dried, I did like a full proper dry trim on them. And then the curing process, I just have my little nug jars from the Dollarama, like my little mason jars, and I put all my wheat in there. With some of those humidity packages, those boost packages. And okay, so the cure, funny. The weed never really got cured, folks. I smoked it all really quickly. So the curing process was never really like a full proper curing process. I just sort of put them in jars and smoked as I went. And I am left with maybe a couple grams of each strain right now. But yeah, they didn't get like a real proper cure by any means. Oh, there's the
I felt like they were cured pretty good, especially the wedding cake. Like, when I came over, it smelled just the same as like it had the same smell that mine had.
Yeah,
which is so neat.
Yeah, and actually, my friend who gave me the mint dough clone, I had the opportunity to try his mint dough before I grew the mint dough. And my mint dough pretty much tasted and smelled exactly like his did. And he's, you know, like a seasoned grower. So at least I know while I didn't get a great yield, I know that I got the quality part, not nailed, but at least there was some quality there. Like it wasn't bad weed. So I just need to work like maybe on the yield now and like the size of my nugs, because I like big nugs and I cannot lie.
I mean, we all like to check all those boxes, right? Like,
yeah.
As much as I say, like, potency doesn't mean everything and yield doesn't mean everything. I mean, every girl needs to have a big yielder in their back pocket, a high THC in their back pocket.
Yeah.
You know, just start collecting those badges like a Girl Scout.
Yes, totally. Exactly. It's like achievement badges. Like, you know, finally got a good yield. So the wedding cake was my biggest yielder. But it the nugs, okay, one nug I weighed wet and it was like 13 grams. That same nug dry was like 2.1 grams. So that one was kind of a not a very dense strain, a very fluffy strain. But that plant was my biggest producer. So in total, from 4 plants that survived my first grow, I got 2.5 ounces, which was a little disappointing, but it's lasted me since Halloween. So that's really all I can ask for. And honestly, truly, this is so true. And like everybody says this about growing. There's nothing like smoking your own homegrown. Blah 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 blah. Right? Yeah.
It's you're spiritual.
No, it's what's that?
It's spiritual.
Yes, it is. It is. It's like a lifegasm because like you don't realize sort of like, and like most people don't get to smoke fresh weed. Like, of course I smoke like some tester nugs and like smoke the fresh weed. So most people don't really get to smoke like fresh weed. And there is something about smoking like that fresh nug that like sort of just dried and like testing it out for the first time going, holy shit, I am high off of my own supply for the first time ever. It is spiritual. That's the best way to describe it. It truly is.
Because you love, sweat, blood, tears, it all goes into their pheromones. Yeah. And that comes out in diva terps, just like my minute terps. It's in every single strain you grow. It's the love. The love matters.
I totally agree with you. Like I know some growers and they're very like mechanical about their grow, you know, and they're very like rigid with their grow. What's that?
Machines might as well run it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, robotic, exactly. And you can tell sometimes like the weed, you know what I mean? It's like this wasn't loved. Like nobody like nurtured this and like told those plants goodnight every night. Like I kiss my plants goodnight every night, basically. Like mommy loves you. I still do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had a bit of a spill, so I'm just gonna clean this.
You had a spill?
I have cats here.
How bad was it? Do you need a sham wow?
Wow. Actually, no. I actually had a handy towel because I have a grow tent in my living room. I don't know if people know this, but because I have a grow tent in my living room, I have lots of towels around.
That's probably a good idea for leakage.
For when things happen.
Yeah. I had a few times where I overwatered and I didn't have any saucers for my plants. They just watered right into the tent, like all the runoff.
I still do that.
Sometimes. Yeah, so I literally, there was a few times where it was so much that I had to wet back. I literally had to wet back the tent because there would be like that much water. I'm like, I don't even remember putting that much water in the plants, but like it all came out. But yeah.
They all pissed it out.
This time I'm going to get some sauce.
Good thing my phone is waterproof. I hope it's coffee proof. You know what? I've literally dropped my iPhone into a 55-gallon barrel of nutrient water like several times at work. And it still works.
At least it's well fed. That's awesome. Nutrients are good for your phones.
I think so. It's like made it beefier.
Mm-hmm. Don't listen to any of our advice. Well, maybe her advice. Certainly not my advice. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing here. I don't even know what day it is. Is it Christmas Day?
I got you, girl. I got you. Okay, well,
yeah, I just need the date.
Because I'm amazing, I still have some coffee in here.
I need to get more coffee. You're gonna have to talk for me while I get more coffee. But then and then we'll talk about the second grow and what I am doing now in the second grow and how I'm starting it differently. Obviously, the first thing that I did differently with this grow was change the soil. Number one, make sure my drainage was going to be okay. So, like I said, I'm exclusively using ProMix. My core is the HP version of it.
I'm gonna get ProMix to sponsor me, girl. They're gonna want to sponsor.
Please do.
You're doing it with Newts in the morning, and then everyone gets ProMix.
Yes.
These new videos I have coming out. Sorry, well, you go get your coffee. I'm gonna plug my new videos coming out because I'm doing a beginners organic series, and I'm using ProMix. They're gonna see these videos and they're gonna want it.
Yeah. Tag. Okay, they have an actual cannabis page, right? So tag.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Cannabis. Yes, I was shocked.
I actually been doing quite a bit of research. They have a training center online, ProMix, and it's fucking saved me a couple times at work because we use ProMix and organic. And so I needed to learn more about using that specific peat moss. And it's amazing the help they give you there. Oh, shout out to ProMix.
Shout out to that's a really
cheap
good tip.
Too.
I will add that site to my list of sites that I use for information, like
absolutely, especially when it comes to pH.
Yeah. Okay, we'll come back. I'll get my coffee.
Very good.
Plug your stuff. Okay, wait. Can I just show off my Christmas outfit first, please? Okay. So yeah, it's not special. That's fine. It's my snug is a bug. I don't work for them, by the way. My snug is a bug.
None of this is sponsored.
None of this is sponsored. We don't get paid for this. I know we're fabulous and we should be paid for this.
We're just fabulous for free.
But anyway, it's like this is like a size like XX 40XL men's. And I thought I'd just show you that I have a little bit. But the most important part of this outfit is, okay, you see these the flip flop kit. It's like a size 14 men's foot. There's my real foot, and there's the foot. Anyway, just thought I'd let you know that's what I'm wearing. Okay, I'll be back.
God, that's a nice tree. She doesn't even need a virtual background. Damn.
I'm still here.
Get out of here. I'm going to go feeding off of that whole terp conversation. We have some people in here saying, love terps. Sarah Choi says, thanks for being awesome. 40 a bale at the hydro shop, dude. Like, you got to go to the local or rural Canadian Tires and get your ProMix. They have shitloads in the back and it's cheap. I got one a bale for, I think it was $23 recently. Yeah. But yes, the terps. I wanted to talk about LP terps. So the factory weed. So if you don't have passionate people at your factory, your weed's gonna suck. The terps matter, and we were talking about those love terps, and those love terps are in the craft cannabis places, the micro cultivation places, and the smaller places where there's passionate people, like Candry Cannabis, where every single one of us back there is hustling hard for passionate plants. So there's a big difference in terpene. And what gets you high and the feelings that it gives you afterwards and all the chemistry. And I'm not a scientist, but I just know stuff. What? $60 a bale for ProMix?
No,
$30 at Canadian Tire. Yeah, man. That's what I'm talking about. I got it on sale. So I bought a couple. And actually, they had the smaller ones. I think they're the same size as my cocoa, which is I think 50 liters of ProMix for $16.
Okay, just may I interject? Just hi. The ProMix that I got a 60-pound
City Life
for $33 at Lowe's.
Okay, yeah, there you go. Yeah, so just don't buy them at your hydro store. I'm sorry for anyone who owns a hydro store in the chat, perhaps, but like ProMix, you can buy at the garden center for cheaper. So we gotta tell our friends. Yeah. Oh, and if you have like a PV Mart, you're so lucky if you do. Because PV Mart,
I want a
is
PB
what's
Mart
up for cheap garden supplies. Yeah.
Okay,
PB
here's
Mart.
when I went to Lowe's to get my Pro Mix. No, I had gotten just like a bag, like a regular bag of the Pro Mix, like Orze in the summer. And when
Yeah,
I went
like
to Lowe's,
the one.
yeah. So when I went to Lowe's this time, they didn't have any bags. They only had 60-pound bales. And it looks a lot lighter than it is. Trust me. Just getting that fucker into the car, I mean, bring somebody strong.
I wish that you would have put that in your stories.
It was in my stories. Well, briefly.
Oh.
Briefly, yeah, it was a
Are
brief
you
story.
struggling it into your car?
Yes, I guess. I was too frustrated to film. I was just angry. I'm not very strong. I mean, I've been sitting on my couch for the last 9 months, folks. There's no
Your
strength in me.
muscles are atrophying.
Yeah,
Atrophying?
I'm atrophied. I have like bed sores. It's not that bad
Girl.
yet. Give it another month. Another month of lockdown.
Okay, so let's chat about your second grow. Talk about some IPM measures that you put in place ahead of time, knowing that. What did I tell you about Pro Mix? There's one thing about Pro Mix that you need to remember.
Well, there was actually 2 things that you told me about Pro Mix, which is, and I think it's probably similar for a lot of soils, not necessarily just Pro Mix.
True. Yeah, true story.
That they can come with pests in the soils. Like there can be larvae in the soil already when you buy the soil right out of the store. Not only that, but they can have other plants in there. You showed me a picture of a plant when it was growing like a companion weed beside it. It's like a random weed that was in the soil, and it grew alongside the weed plant, like weeds with weeds. So yeah, like the soil can literally come into your house with pests in it. And I believe that might have been a factor in my last grow, is that like maybe the sea soil or one of the other, maybe another plant in my house. Like I don't have many house plants, but I do have a couple, like maybe, you know what I mean? So God knows.
It's very hard to pinpoint where they come from.
Yeah, like who knows where the original larvae came from. I mean, it was summertime too, so the bugs coming in and out. I'm hoping you're gonna be mad because I don't have any IPM in place right now. The only thing I have, once I transplant them, I'll be putting their thrip strips on immediately, because at least, even though I don't think I have pests right now, with the thrip strips, you can see if there's any dead bugs on there. So it'll alert you if you have a problem, right? If you're catching bugs.
Point.
Yeah. And then it's kind of will tell you how bad your problem is. So there was times I would show you the thrip strips and they'd be like covered like black, because these strips are yellow, and they'd be like covered black in like dead bodies. And then when the outbreak sort of started to taper off, you could see less and less thrips on the strips. So it's actually a good way to monitor what's going on. Even if you don't have pests, I think it would probably be a good idea to have like some sort of thrip strip in there or something, just to see, if you're catching anything. And then, at least like if you catch a couple bugs, you can sort of stop it before it becomes a problem. So I think like prevention's key here, right?
First of all, before you move on, I love the fact that you call them thrip strips.
That's what they're called.
A lot of people call them gnat traps, but
they're called thrip strips. The brand is Thrip Strips.
Oh, I love that, because I use them more for thrips, because I don't really get fungus gnats because I use cocoa. But if I have thrips, I use them for thrips and do the same thing. So I'm going to start calling them thrip strips.
Yeah, because like before we end this live, we can go out to my grow tent and I'll grab the thrip strip. I'll show you guys the package.
The thrip strips?
Yeah, and it's like $8 at Walmart for the strips. Which is a little pricey because you only get like 20 strips, but like I think it's a good investment, like definitely.
When I start any new grow in the tent, after I've reset it and cleaned it out, and right away, because I just put my mother's all into organics, into Pro Mix, right away I stuck those thrip strips in every single pot to catch them as they come out of the soil.
That's exactly what I'm going to do.
And on top of that, I use the commercial, the big ones, and I put one in each, 2 in each tent corner.
Yeah.
And that catches anything. That's like preventative soldiers.
Yes. I ended up with some of those big, like actual, like the fly strips, like the fly strips that you see like in the movies when they're like in the South in America and they like got flies flying around. Anyway, I had those in there as well. A couple of those fly strips or whatever. They were cheap. I got like 15 of them at the dollar store for $2. And I still have a bunch of them. So yeah, that was a good one.
Those were
I just quickly wanted to mention one more thing about the IPM that I did last grow and then going into this grow. So one thing that I did read was that hydrogen peroxide, not straight, a very diluted solution of it, can help kill off the thrip larvae, not the adults, the larvae. And I will tell you, after I did a couple of peroxide flushes, I'm not saying, you know, this works or it doesn't work, but I will tell you my observation is that it toned down the thrips massively after giving it like 2 peroxide waterings over the period of a week. Like that's a diluted solution, by the way, like 3% peroxide with like, it was like maybe a 5% solution with water. So, so I found, my observation was after those treatments, the thrips did tone down. I'm not saying to do that or not, but okay. So then going into this grow,
people use hydrogen peroxide to clean and flush things out, and it does kill soft-bodied insects or pests and pathogens. It's not organic, but it definitely works.
Yeah.
For anything that's in the soil, though, because most of the thrips, I just want to mention that they lay their eggs in the plant material, sometimes into the soil, but gnats are in the soil.
Yes, right. Right. Sorry. Yeah. So the gnats. Yeah. So sorry. That was for the gnat problem that I had. Sorry. Too many pests to keep track of.
I know.
That was for that
oh, good.
And then, okay, and quickly, I also actually, this is not quickly. This is what I'm saying. My first grow is such a soap opera. So when I got the nutrient burn, because I was using Gaia Green, which is a dry amendment, basically the feeding is about once a month or once every 3 weeks, and you mix this dry fertilizer into your soil and it feeds it throughout the month. So because I overdid it and made them toxic, I think it's a lot easier to flush like liquid nutrients out, but come to find out it's really hard to flush out your plants from the dry amendments. So it took me, like, you witness to the whole my flushing process. Like I flushed these plants like a motherfucker. Like I literally was running bathtub water from the tap.
I know the soil was so heavy, so that makes flushing extra difficult.
Yeah, it was so hard. And so then I did a couple of additional peroxide washes. I don't know if that did anything for the nutrient burn, but I did just threw it in there because I'm like, what the hell? I mean, can't hurt now, right? So they did recover from the nutrient burn. They did. It took some time, but they did recover. So
yeah, all that hard work, that's what paid off, was the flushing. Because like you said, that blueberry was just too far gone. Yeah. But because you stepped in and intervened at the right time, the others were saved. And you can tell by the pictures I posted earlier that the quality was still fucking dynamite.
Dude, I don't know how I even managed to like finish that grow off, but I do have to say massive thank you to all of your help in like rescuing my ass in a couple of like sketchy situations. So yeah, okay, so going into this next grow, I haven't done any true IPM yet, but like you said, in between grows, I absolutely sanitized the hell out of that room. I sanitized everything.
Tell people what you did there. Reset. Okay. That's very important. Yes. I like it.
So I used bleach and alcohol, not together. God, please don't mix those things. So I used bleach to bleach.
And then I huffed it.
And then I huffed it. And I was high for 3 days.
Didn't.
Bleached the whole tent. I bleached because I have my tent in a grow room. Basically, it's a room. It's my old office, but since I don't work anymore, it's now a grow room. So it has like a dedicated room. So that whole room, everything in that room, I wiped down, like the floors, the walls, absolutely everything with this bleach solution. And then I cleaned all of my electronics with alcohol, like 90% alcohol, because you don't want to put bleach or water on any sort of electronic. And alcohol dries really quickly. So you can clean. So I clean my lights, I clean my fans, What else did I clean? There was no other electronics in there.
Very excellent IPM. So you can't say you didn't do anything, because right there, that's a very first step of IPM for your next grow.
And I can honestly say, like, I haven't, like, when I had the gnat problem, you could see them, like, they would come into my bedroom in the morning, and then I'd wake up to, like, a gnat flying around my head. Like, there was gnats in my house. Like, you could tell that there was, like, stuff going on in the house, and I haven't seen any bugs. But it also helps that it's winter and there's 27 feet of snow outdoors right now. I'm hoping winter helps me in this.
It is. It's easier to grow in the winter. A lot of people actually shut down in the summer and either just grow outside or just completely shut down because of moisture, because of RH, heat, like bugs, lots of reasons. I'm thinking of shutting down and just growing my outdoor stuff this year.
Totally. That's an option for me. I just feel like growing, because we live in Alberta and our summers are not necessarily proper summers either. Like, we get a lot of hailstorms, windstorms, like all kinds of crazy shit. Like, our weather here is wacko.
Central. Yeah.
Wacko. Like, for the people who are not from Alberta, it is crazy here. Like,
particularly southern Alberta, because I came from northern Alberta last year, and southern Alberta is storm central for real.
Yeah, and the reason why is because
all year.
And the reason why, because Calgary in particular is situated at the foot of the mountains, the Rocky Mountains. So we're literally in the foothills of the Rocky Mountains. And so that creates really weird weather phenomena. Like, we get Chinooks, we get all kinds of weird shit, like thunderstorms. Anyway, so needless to say, growing outdoors in Alberta, and I've experienced this with my tomatoes like several years, is very hit and miss. Like, some years I'll have a really great tomato harvest and some years not so much. And a lot of it is due to the weather. Like, this summer was really good. It was really hot and I had an awesome harvest. The summer before was super, super moist and cold and stormy, and my harvest was total crap. So obviously that translates to growing cannabis outside as well. So if I do outdoors next year, I'm definitely probably going to just do autos outside. At least, you know what I mean? It has a better chance.
Flowers.
Auto flowers.
Coffee.
You're making coffee?
Yeah.
We just left all of our guests. Do we even have guests anymore? Have we scared them off? Are we kicked
off? I brought the guests with me.
Oh, you
They're in my hands right now.
Aw, don't drop them. Don't drop our guests. They're very important.
I won't drop our guests. Condo grower. He loves us. He says outstanding. We have our own show now, he thinks. I'm not
we have our own show? Okay, I don't
want to disappoint him and tell him that I just only convinced you for one show.
No, I have news for him. Check our Instagrams, but go back a little ways. We have entire shows together. No, we have shows together. They're all over my IGTV, but not this kind of show. We have different kind of shows. When I first met Newts, which we met on the internet, and I invited her to my house, which was a bad idea. Don't do that. But it worked out this time, thankfully. But I forced her. No, do you remember? I forced her to film. I had 8 different scripts written. She came for one day.
You forced me to film all the time. They can tell I'm like a kidnapped victim on screen. I think that's what sells.
Yes. I'm a little demanding, but okay, no, but the first time I met you was the worst by far for you, I'm sure, because I had this, like, literally 8 scripts and I wanted to film all these things. And the funny thing is we did actually end up filming all the things, but I think Newts felt, like she was a bit of a captive to the diva madness. But the footage was great. It was all
I was so exhausted.
You were so exhausted. I literally had to walk you into like your hotel room that night. Because I literally murdered you. I made her film from morning to night. We filmed a cooking show. We filmed a bunch of skits. We did film an interview. Like, I interviewed you, I think, and then we did like 10 other things. And then there was the jazzercise. That was another time. We did a jazzercise. So if you guys go into my Instagram and go into my IGTV section, it's a little tab like on my homepage on Instagram. If you scroll down, you're gonna have to scroll back a little ways, like probably through a bunch of stuff, but there's other stuff in there you guys can watch if you want of mine. And you will find some very interesting videos of Newts and I. We have filmed a lot of stuff in the past, so Yeah, there's some fun stuff on there. If you want to see more Newts videos, and actually what I can do today, just to make it easier for anyone who wants to see that stuff, I'll repost some of those in my stories.
Trying to keep that stuff separate.
Oh,
this
never
is my
mind.
business.
Can we delete this? Cancel?
No, it's live.
Cancel.
No.
Oh, this is why I'm not allowed to do lives.
Oh,
There's
yes.
nothing else.
This is the only show she'll be on.
I ruined it.
Get it?
That's what I do best.
Okay.
You didn't tell me we were keeping that stuff separate. Should have told me. Should have given me a list of rules.
We already have some people who know about these videos. So
there's people I'm sure here that know about this. Yeah.
Some of those visit videos are classic, Jack says.
Exactly. Thank you, Jack. Thank you very much. Just because I held her hostage doesn't mean I'm bad. Anyway, so what were we talking about? Weeds and stuff. IPMs. We were talking about, we moved on to your current grow. Yeah. So, okay. So, I germinated. Okay. I ordered a bunch of seeds. I didn't plant them all, but I did plant 15 feminized seeds. 2 of those seeds are autos. 1 seed is a fast seed. Now, I couldn't find a lot of information. Maybe somebody here knows what a fast seed actually is, because I don't know if a fast seed is an auto or if it's just a faster flowering photo period. I couldn't find the information anywhere on the
fast flowering.
It's called
period.
Fast.
Yeah, I'm sure if Jack will chime in here, but whenever I've seen those ones, they flower in for sure like 7 weeks or some shit. They're like bred to flower. Anyway, like maybe they're mostly indica dominant. I would guess. I don't know.
So I totally forgot that I now have to tell people about this next fuck up that I've done with these seeds. Okay, so 15 feminized seeds. Every single seed germinated.
Good job.
I planted 15 because I expected to lose some, right? And they're all still alive. So I have 15 feminized seedlings in my 4x4 tent right now. Okay, so I planted those on December 1st. So they're 3 weeks old now. So they're like technically officially entering the vegetative stage right now, I guess. But a week or so ago, so I had them in like humidity domes, like sun domes, humidity domes for the first week and a half, 2 weeks of their lives. And then I removed them from the domes and they were totally fine. They were doing great. Now, when I was taking the domes on and off, I had to lift my light up to take the domes off, to like give room to take the domes off, and then lower it back down when I had the domes off. What I think I did was I lowered it the light too far down the last time I took the dome off. So a week later, I discovered like literally crispy, curling up. I sent you the video of my dying plants. Curling up, crispy, like necrotic leaves. Like overnight, my seedlings went from being nice and perky and green to like dying and crispy. And for those of you who follow my Instagram, some of you may have seen that story of how crispy and like dried up my plants were. And I realized that my light was way too close. And I realized that on the seedling tray level, the temperature was like 30 degrees. And now you taught me this. I had my humidity and temperature monitor on the floor of my grow tent. Now my seedlings are raised up about a foot off the floor. And you had told me, I think it was probably the first week I started growing in the summer, I had my temperature monitor up high in my tent. And you told me to put it down at the plant level, right? To get an accurate RH where the plants are and an accurate temperature, which I didn't do this grow. So I had no idea for a week that my plants were literally burning at 30 degrees Celsius for a week under this light, because on my grow tent floor, it was only 22 degrees. Anyway, so I'm pretty positive that's exactly what happened to them as I burnt them. And so they're back in their humidity domes now. Actually, I put them back in their humidity dome the night that I discovered that burn, and they did perk back up. overnight.
You
which
caught
was
it. You caught it quick. That's why.
I caught
Because
it
you're
quick,
always
yeah.
in there. So even if you didn't have the temperature gauge right there, you're looking at them like something's weird.
Yeah, and yes, exactly.
Good.
Something was definitely weird. Like you could visibly see, like they were like not doing good. And
Ooh, Tiffany's there.
hi, Tiffany.
She says hello. And she said it was a sad day. She said, I'm so happy you saved them.
Oh, yeah, it was a really sad day. I was scared. No, I literally went to my stories and I was almost in tears because I just complain to people on Instagram now. That's all I do. I don't make content anymore. I just go and complain about my life. Like literally Instagram's
Also, we got an answer.
Oh, we did. About
The fast.
Oh,
yeah, a couple people out. Jack and also Magnum. Outdoor fast will flip sooner, but they're not autos.
Okay, so they're photo period.
They're photo period. Yeah, but they're meant for indoors, I think.
Yeah. So that's probably going to be a little problematic for me.
They finish faster than most photo periods. So yeah, it's just like, I think they're bred to go like 7 weeks.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's going to be on the same schedule as my regular photo period plants are, and we're just going to see how it's doing. So that plant actually,
they finish when they finish.
Yeah. I'm not in a rush. I have nowhere to be. I'm not employed.
Maybe the plant's in a rush.
Maybe the plants are in a rush. Well, this one, it should be in a rush because it's called a fast seed. So we better hurry up. But actually, out of all the plants in my tent right now, the seedlings, that one is doing the worst. That one almost died. So what I did, so I put my plants in the back in their humidity domes. Now I had weaned them off the humidity domes. They were doing really good. So now they're back in the humidity domes. I'm gonna have to wean them off again and get them climatized again. But the first day I had them in the domes, I ended up taking the domes off again, which was really stupid for like a couple of hours. And I went back to look at the plants and they were crisping up again. So
I'm just going to interject because there's people talking about domes and stuff. A lot of times people don't need domes for seedlings, but here in Southern Alberta, the room humidity is like 25%, if that. So we dome.
Yeah. And also,
or they die.
Our altitude is very high. Like we're literally like 4,000 meters above sea level. Like we're like, or whatever it is. Like we're way up there. Like our climate here is extremely
They need a little more babying. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. Even if you have like a humidifier in your house, like it's still really dry here. Like people's skin literally like starts bleeding and cracks off here. That's how bad it is here.
I can show you.
Oh, you got oh, lovely. May I suggest a Vino cream for that? Also, I don't work for a Vino.
Nothing sponsored.
Not yet.
Except for Will Ferrell. He sponsors us.
Oh, wait. I gotta show you this. I'm wearing this underneath because I'm getting sweaty. All right. It's probably backwards. It is. Oh, look.
I love it. 420 Diva. It's not backwards at all.
Is it? It's not?
Says, oh my God, Santa!
Santa's here? Oh.
He's coming only if you've been good.
No, he's not coming to my house. Not this year.
Whoa.
What was I talking about? Okay, quickly, this is the final soap opera of my grow so far. And then we can stop talking about how horrible a grower I've been.
You've been excellent.
I feel like I could have been better. Especially now, because I'm really disappointed that I fuck something up so early in their lives. But I didn't have to deal with the seedling phase on my first grow, right? Because I killed them. And then you just gave me clones and it made it easy for me, right? So I actually haven't had to go through this phase yet with cannabis. So this is
it's the phase I like the least. Like the
fuck this
maybe
phase.
to like get into mid-veg so that I can fuck with you and like get things going. I'm just like they don't do much, so I get it.
Yeah, it's not very interesting. I'm like, is it time to flip them? Can I flip them now? They're 3 weeks old.
I mean, I like veg mothers are like my favorites, but I need them to be bigger and I don't know.
By the way, let me know because I've got a bunch of different strains in there. So I'm trying a bunch of different strains to see what's going to work best for me. Like I said, I have a few experimental autos and then experimental fast seed. So I'm trying a bunch of stuff to see, what's kind of going to work best for me on future grows. But if you want any clones, Newts, holler at me. If they survive. So the final part of
You
this,
too. We're both
Yeah.
growing Canuck cookies.
I
Let's talk about that.
Oh, okay. And can we talk about your dicks too? Because I want a dick update. She's growing Moby Dicks, right? Are you still growing them?
Moby Dick Auto. Yeah, I have 3 actually. I thought I had 2 left, but I have 3 left.
Oh, because okay, so we both ordered Canuck seeds, and now Moby Dick is one of my favorite strains, and I wanted to grow Moby Dick, and so we were discussing growing Moby Dick. She's like, I ordered Moby Dick seeds from Canuck. I was like, oh, awesome! Like this is maybe like what, a month.
And I usually order from Dynafem only.
Right. Yeah, and we did what, True North this time, right? Something like that. That's what I used. I used True North Seed Bank. Anyway.
I love True North. I use them. Shout out True North.
No, because they have amazing sales. I got my seeds at like over 50% off.
They send me swag.
Yeah, I waited for a sale because again we're on a budget, right? So the Moby Dicks, right? So you got those seeds, your dicks, like a month before I ordered my seeds, and so I was like, let me know how your dicks do. And then what happened to your dicks? Your Moby Dick.
5 Canuck Moby Dick Auto, and they all germinated. I called 2 right away because they were very small mutant, and autoflower and mutants means. So they went in the garbage, and now I have 3. 2 are doing okay, and one's like I threw it in organics because it's like already flowering and it's
right.
This big.
Right. Yeah. So, well, needless to say, I'm kind of glad
I threw worm poop at it. That's what my buddy Spartan says to do. He says, if you have a problem, throw worm poop at it. Yeah. So I did. I mixed a soil filled with mostly worm poop, and I stuck the bitch in there.
Mostly worm poop. Wow. Okay. That's a lot of poop. How much do worms poop like in a day? Like, did that?
I don't know. I found a local worm farmer, and they're gonna give me their poops, so I'm gonna ask them that, and I'll get back to you.
I'm sorry. Okay. Is that an actual career?
No, it's a side job, a side hustle.
I'll keep that in mind.
She just became my new best friend. I let her know that too. Sorry. She's got the fresh poops.
Listen,
you're gonna want some of these.
I will get you all the worm poop you need just to regain my status as bestie.
All right.
But I heard, okay, I found the worm casting. So, I've heard that worm castings and the Gaia Green nutrients, the dry amendments that I'm using, actually go really well together. It grosses me the hell out. I don't want to put worm poop in anything in my house. But if it comes down to it, and I, think it's going to be beneficial to me, then I will consider it. But I don't want to.
Fair enough. Your first task will just be looking it up.
I would prefer. Okay, all right, okay.
Go on to the Annalita. Annalita does the best worm castings in Canada, is what I've heard, and that's what I use for this first organics, is Annalita, and they have knowledge bombs and lots of information on what worm poop does. They sold me. I'm going to use it in cocoa. I'm going to use it in organics. I'm going to use it in everything.
Okay, well, let me know how the worm poop goes for you. I'm going to let you be like the guinea pig. You're going to be the canary in the mine, and let us know. Okay, so also, back to we're so all over the place. This is how our conversation
Can I just mention a couple of compliments for you first?
Compliments?
Yes.
Okay.
So when we were talking about your first grow and you were down on yourself, Jack Greenstock says we can all always be better, but Diva's first grows buds look way better than most people's first years of growing.
That means a lot to me because I know.
And then Tiffany says Diva's grow is absolutely incredible looking, hands down.
Who said that? So I can thank
Tiffany.
Them? Oh, Tiffany, I love you. She's our grow sister. She's our PI grow sister.
Yes.
We love you too, Tiff. And you and Newts have twin cats, by the way.
We do. We know.
I'm sure you guys know that, but I only realized yesterday how twinsies your cats were.
I think mine's a little more of a devil. Hey, Dr. Dre, he's a little thuggish.
He's a little thuggish, yeah. Still Dre. Um, what was I gonna say? I did have something I was gonna say. I'm now rolling a joint.
We were talking about worm poops. I apologize. And then
Worm
we were
poop. Oh yeah, no, it's not important. But this is how our conversations go. Like if you guys were to like sit on the couch and get high with Newts and I, our conversations are all over the place.
Yeah, this
like,
is really comfortable. I don't know how you're feeling, but I'm feeling like
I'm
this is
good. Dude, I slept 15 minutes. No, if people think I'm kidding, I have a very bad sleeping problem or not sleeping problem. I literally fell asleep half an hour before I was supposed to come and do this.
Well, I asked her if she would politely stay up all night so that she wouldn't be late.
No, normally I do. It's funny because Newts and I will have conversations at like 4 a.m. and she's like, I just got up. And I'm like, I'm still awake. It works out perfectly for us, actually. 4 a.m. is like, and we're very witty at 4 a.m.
How do the viewers feel about a 4 a.m. Newts show instead of 6 a.m.?
A 4:20. It's got to be 4:20 a.m.
You know what? I have fun doing this show alone. I have fun doing this show with just one other person. I have fun. I would have fun, like I said to you, I would have fun coming on here and doing the show with just you. I would have fun if there's 5 people in the crowd or 30 people in the crowd.
No,
I just love it. Because this is so comfortable.
Well, this is literally how we talk. Like, this is not like a show, guys. Like,
because we can't hang out anymore, so we video
we
chat
can't hang out anymore, and like
we get dressed up for each other.
Yeah, and you used to come visit all the time.
Yeah.
You used to shower in my sink. No, I gave her own bathroom, which has no shower.
Good old days.
Made her shower in my sink.
I was living out of my Jeep, anyways. It's the best we could do.
You were in your camper at the time, I think. But yeah. She was gypsy. She's still gypsy, but she's just a more
settled down,
located, more centrally located gypsy now.
I'm ready to flee at any moment, though. Don't you dare me.
Oh, I'm sure. Get that camper ready. Now, the only thing is now, here's your problem. You're less free now because you got 2 cats. Not 1, 2 cats. She went from having no cats to 2 cats now.
No, this is the thing. These cats belong in this trailer. So I move out, these cats stay here.
Sick.
My landlord said that they'd gladly keep the cats.
I'll take Dr. Dre. Well, no,
Dr. Dre's coming with me. I love them too much. I could never leave them. That's terrible.
She's so attached.
I'm stuck with these bastards for at least probably 17 years or some shit.
And then you have her. Yes, my Diva Cat is 17 years old in March, and she is spry. She is very perky.
Insanity.
Yeah. I was going to say something else about this grow, but no, I can't remember. So basically right now, my seedlings are in what I'm calling now the plant ICU. It's literally the intensive care unit for the plants. Mm-hmm. So they're in their domes right now. And like some people said, there are climates, you're not going to need those domes. Like if you live in Florida and it's like super like humid there and like hot, you probably don't need humidity domes. But if you live in Alberta, you need those domes. So so they're in the domes still. I vented the domes so that there's because there was like literally 99% humidity in the dome. 2 days ago, I was like, that's probably a little much. So I've got it down to like 70 right now on the domes. And they're just recovering. Like I'm too scared. So I'm just going to slowly wean them off that extra humidity by just slowly venting it more and more every day until they kind of climatize back to what my tent was sitting around in the 40s, 40 to 50, which is not all that high, but it's Alberta, so much we can do about that. Good move. Yeah. Good move. So and that's pretty well it for my grow. If you want, I can take you guys up real quick to the grow tent and show you some babies. I did have to give them some haircuts because some of those dead leaves that died off and got really dry from my light burn situation. I couldn't leave them on there because we know what happens if we leave dead vegetation on the plants, right? Like that's an invitation for pests as well, with like dead vegetation sitting around. So I did have to cut off some of the necrotic leaves, which was probably a little early to do any sort of trimming on them, but it was a necessity. So
yeah, I say let's go up and see them. Let's end the show with a bang.
A bang. I don't know if it's gonna be a bang, but and I'll see if I can find my thrift strip package to show you guys so you guys know what to look for if you're interested in doing some IPM, of course. Up into the grow room.
Welcome to the jungle.
I'm gonna close the door because Diva Cat will run right into the tent, and
I
she
know.
loves
I'm always
she loves
yelling at that cat.
She
Get
loves
that cat out of there.
Okay, hang on. I gotta figure out how to turn this sucker on.
Jack
Hello.
says 2 cats is the perfect amount of cats.
I do agree. Actually, I have one, and one more is fine, but okay. So I have also lights. I just got a new light in here somewhere. There it is. So that'll get installed.
Nice.
But yeah. So here they are. Here's their domes. They're the little Sun Blaster nano domes. I think most garden centers have these. Let's open her up. Okay.
Oh, they look like they bounced back.
Yeah, if you can see those little black spots there, that was part of the problem. It started burning up and going crispy, like it's literally just dry and crispy there. Some still have a bit of sick leaves. But here's the weirdo fast seed. Now this one got the burn really bad, but that's the fast seed. It's
It looks fast.
It looks fast. Yeah, it is literally taller than the rest of them. This one is a tester. This is a feminized tester of zombie breath. There's only a couple people who have this strain right now, so I'm grateful.
That one looks like it's doing really good.
Yeah, there's 3 of these actually. Thank you to Trinity Genetics. Shout out to you guys for allowing me to be a tester, which is crazy. Like, who asked a new grower to be a tester?
I want a zombie breath clone.
Yeah,
Boom.
look. I can give you clones, bruh.
I don't know what it is, but I like breath things. Too.
Yeah, exactly. I was looking for a breath strain. Okay, here's my humidity monitor. See, they're in the seed tray. It's in the seed tray.
Good.
So
good.
that's
Perfect.
Yeah. So that's it. That's my growing. Flip you around here if I can. Oh God, I'm sweating. Here we go. Okay. Yeah. So that's it. That's the Diva Grow Tent. It's a 4x4. You can see Diva for scale.
Diva for scale. 4x4 is a nice size. It's a perfect size for a new grower. I started in a 3x3, which I learned pretty quickly was pretty small, but
yeah,
when you can have 4 plants or whatever, 4x4 is a good size.
I was shocked how huge it was because it's also 7 feet tall. Like it's almost taking out my light fixture above it. So yeah, but so 15 feminized plants. If they all survive, I'm gonna have 15 plants in that 4x4, and I only have 3-gallon pots, so I don't even know if they're all gonna fit. That's the reality of it. But I do have some like smaller pots. If I have to put the autos in the smaller ones or something, I can do that. So yeah, that's it. That's it for the Diva
Awesome,
Grow.
Mama.
That was a long saga. My God, how many people?
I liked it.
I liked it too.
You just discussed your whole grow journey. I think that's really important.
I've never actually gone through that whole story with anyone other than you. Like you were there as it was happening. But
yes,
like,
I feel grateful. I knew this would flow good. I knew that people wanted to hear your story. People can watch this afterwards too. So
yes, true. So I will
link this now afterwards. But before we go, is there anyone that you want to shout out? You want to like mention your Instagram again? I'm gonna link. I'm gonna go back in and edit this video afterwards, and I will put in your YouTube account, and then also your Instagram will be linked in the bottom.
Awesome. So yeah, if you don't know me on Instagram, lately I haven't been making a lot of like video content. I do stories every single day. So if you want to like just get to know me in general, check out my stories. I have stories every single day. There's like never a day where there's not stories. And I will literally just talk to you guys like we're chit-chatting here. But in 2021, new year, I plan to make a lot more content, like video content, skits, which I have done in the past. Used to do a lot of skits. So I will be posting those on my YouTube. As of right now, my YouTube is pretty dead. But 2021, there will be some new content on the YouTube. I don't even know what my YouTube channel is.
Well, you're going to send it to me so that I can link it down below.
I have to look it up. I think it's the 420 Diva space official. Can you put space in your YouTube name? I think I have a space in my YouTube name. Anyway, my Instagram is I am the 420 Diva official.
Yep.
And then shout outs. Well, just a shout out to you really right now. Obviously there's tons of people I love. I could shout out all day if I want. This could be like a rap song. I could shout out Dr. Dre.
Yeah. I love
But
it.
yeah, really just you. Thank you for allowing me to be on. I think I'm your first guest, other than the cats, right? Like, thank you for that. I appreciate.
You're my first guest on this platform, yes, because I'm gonna have Prime Craft Cannabis, who was my official first guest. Sorry, he's gonna come back and do a Zoom show with me. We already decided, and that's how I decided that I was gonna do it on this platform, was because that was way too. It didn't work out good. The Instagram platform.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah, I don't ever go live. By the way, just so you know, I don't do lives. I haven't done one live ever. So this is like my first live like ever, basically. And yeah, but shout out to you for getting this show going, and for just being a badass girl grower, giving no fucks, you know, over the years. I think you've really earned your stripes in the growing community, and yeah, you're a great person. Why are you laughing? Don't laugh, don't cry. You got your stripes. You know what I mean?
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for being you. And yes, and I think the Cheap Home Girl for allowing me to be on this page and for not kicking me off the page. Thank you.
Safe place, girl. Cheap Homegirl Nation is safe, full of besties. Filled with besties. All our besties are in here.
Thank you. I'm going to go through 3 comments.
Have a great Christmas. People are saying Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
To you.
Perfect garden content this morning. Ridge Patch, Mole Vision, shouting out people. Shane Jennings, Christian Jorica, coming in late, but we got to wrap this up. So yeah. I'm just so glad that you were here as my first girl guest. It's not going to be all lady growers, but I do have a bit of a women in weed theme going on in the background. Yeah. And I think that's important for this channel too. Cheap Homegrown Nation, we're going to bring in the more ladies, and you want more ladies to come in and feel comfortable. So I think this is going to help that. And Shane, I spoke with him a couple months ago. He's on board for me bringing on new growers to chit chat and do my own little show thing. So we'll see how this goes. And I'm very grateful that you were the first guest.
I love you. I miss you.
Love you.
I'm sorry I can't give you gifts this year. All my gifts are covered.
Well, I hope everyone has a Merry Christmas and
Happy Hanukkah. How did we miss that?
2021, people. 2021.
Do it up. Grow it good.
I need to.
You need. I think you're in control of turning us off. But yeah.
There's a special way to turn this off so that I don't keep it going live, because that's what I did last time.
Oh yeah, and you're like walking around your house with your phone. You like go to the bathroom, go to poop, and you're like still on live. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not saying you did that. Things happen.